It was the summit the world was waiting for, but few believed would actually happen. On the 15th of August, 2025, in the remote, icy city of Anchorage, Alaska, Presidents Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin met face to face. The official agenda was a single, monumental goal: to end the war in Ukraine. But as the summit ended, the headlines told a confusing story. Both leaders used words like constructive and productive, yet there was no ceasefire, no announced peace plan, and no agreement to withdraw troops. Instead, the meeting was a powerful and, for some, alarming display of high-stakes diplomacy. The symbolism was as powerful as any policy. The first time since the full-scale invasion, Vladimir Putin was given a red carpet welcome on U.S. soil, re-legitimizing him as a global player. Now, as the world analyzes every moment of that summit, the true nature of this war is coming into focus. It's no longer just a war of tanks and trenches. It's a war of politics, security guarantees, and strategic survival. Today, we break down the new chess game between the United States, Russia, and Ukraine, and what it all means for the future of global power. In the days following the summit, a quiet order from Washington revealed a dramatic shift in policy that had been in place for months. The Pentagon had told Kyiv, the American-supplied long-range missiles, weapons that can hit targets up to 300 kilometers away, can no longer be used freely against targets inside Russia. Every single launch must now be approved at the highest levels in Washington first. For months, these strikes were Ukraine's strategic lifeline. They disrupted Russia's supply lines, destroyed critical ammunition depots in cities like Belgorod and Kursk, and pressured Moscow's front line. They were a powerful symbol of Ukrainian defiance and Western support. But now, that leash has been pulled tight. Why? Escalation. Washington fears a missile landing deep within Russia could be the spark that ignites a wider war, potentially dragging NATO into a direct, catastrophic conflict. By pulling the reins, the U.S. is trying to balance its unwavering support for Kyiv with a desperate need for control over the geopolitical chessboard. But while Washington restricts Ukraine's arm, Moscow is playing a different kind of card. In a surprise move, Vladimir Putin signaled he might be willing to accept something he has always rejected: a new security framework for Ukraine. Not from NATO, which he has always viewed as an existential threat, but from the United States and key European powers. For years, Russia's red line was simple: no NATO expansion. So why soften his stance now? Analysts believe Russia is facing its own form of exhaustion. Its economy is battered by years of sanctions. Its military is depleted by a grinding war of attrition, with casualty rates reaching historic levels. By suggesting a deal outside the NATO framework, Putin may be trying to find a face-saving exit where he can claim victory by stopping NATO's advance without admitting defeat on the battlefield. In his return to power, Donald Trump has doubled down on a message he first presented years ago: no American boots on the ground, not one. His policy is a strategic calculation. Instead of sending ground troops, his administration is focusing on air defense, intelligence sharing, and applying pressure on allies to spend more on their own defense. It's a signature Trump formula: reduce American costs and increase leverage on others. But here's the problem. Europe's military capabilities, while improving, are still highly dependent on U.S. aid and technology. If Washington truly pulls back, can nations like France and Germany, already grappling with political fatigue and domestic crises, fill the immense gap? For Eastern European nations like Poland and the Baltic states, the anxiety is profound. If America steps back, who will truly stand against Russia? Through all the geopolitical maneuvering, one voice remains unyielding: that of President Volodymyr Zelensky. His message is simple and it's non-negotiable: no territorial concessions. For Kyiv, this isn't just a political stance. It's a matter of survival and history. They have lost too much, buried too many, and watched too many promises broken. They remember the Budapest Memorandum of 1994, where Ukraine gave up its nuclear arsenal in exchange for security assurances, which were later violated. They remember the Minsk agreements, which failed to stop the initial conflict in the Donbass. For Ukraine, surrendering land for yet another paper guarantee isn't security, it's suicide. The memories of broken promises and unpunished aggression are too fresh, and the human cost has been far too great. Ultimately, this war is about one thing: exhaustion. military, economic, and political exhaustion. The United States is running down its stockpiles of advanced weapons, creating a strategic vulnerability. Europe is facing a cocktail of rising costs, record inflation, and a growing political backlash against continued aid. And Russia, while surviving on oil exports to China and India, is becoming more and more isolated. Its long-term economic future is mortgaged to a single patron, and its military is suffering from a lack of high-tech components. Each side is locked in a dangerous calculation. What's more perilous? Continuing the endless, bloody fight, or making a risky deal that could either end the suffering or lay the groundwork for the next, even more brutal war. So, where are we headed? A frozen conflict that divides Ukraine forever? A deal that swaps NATO membership for a piece of paper? Or a fragile ceasefire that only delays the inevitable next war? If you want to stay ahead of these powerful shifts in the global landscape, hit subscribe, like the video, and join the conversation below. What do you think? Could a non-NATO security guarantee actually bring peace, or is it just another dangerous illusion?